Hey, so it works like this. Over here is my old template. This is from 2023, from January 14th, 2023. It's what I've been using up until until this last week, until just a couple of days ago. And here's all the information, it's everything that we post, all the broken crap, but a lot of good stuff, right? Here is the new one. This is the template headers for today, for February 23rd, 2026. This method, it's not going to require, it doesn't take anything. You just download the template, you paste the headers in. It doesn't matter if there are new headers, if headers, old headers are deprecated, doesn't matter. You just drop the headers in here. Here's the script. Claude spun this up for me. It is cast a template. What you do is you put in the name of the old script. That's Auza old. That's where the source data is from. You put Auza new. This is my new sheet where the new headers are in their configuration. It makes this dictionary. It loops through all the headers of the old. It takes down their names and their positions, and then it loops through the new ones and compares it. It says, oh, we had this header in the new one. We had this in the old one. So just take the data from the old one and wherever it was and put it here wherever this is. And it just copies at least all the information that you already have, copies it over. And I'm just gonna run it real quick. And it looks like this. What's happening? We're not gonna do this? Oh, there we go. Isn't that cool? You have to adjust your formulas a little bit. You can't have in your source page any cells that refer to other cells on the same sheet, because those are positional references. They'll drift if they move one column location to another. Like, I don't know, what do we use? I guess it's over here, I think it is. Right here. See model and model name and part number. We just use the SKUs again. And down here, normally, I just have these point to the SKU in this other column. Can't do that because if it moves, it'll break that reference. It'll copy over the relative reference of this and it'll break. So you got to use the same values again. You can't have any cell in your source material. This is just a good practice anyway, not to have any cell in your source material refer to other cells on page, because what'll happen is, so here all the models have been moved much closer to the left edge, all this information, and I have it copied here, but I use the regular references here, so when they moved over, now they refer to a cell that in its relative to position no longer exists, so it breaks that reference. So you gotta tune your data. Price is another place where I do this. The title is another place where I do this. It has to be, like, I usually have it point to the color and the size cell, and that relative reference is broken. Now this is where the size, this should be black and this should be whatever, points to something else. So you have to more hard code your stuff. You can't be dependent on relative reference within the same sheet. But if you do it that way, if you get your sheet real tight, if you get your source material real tight, here's the thing, is that this is your source material now, right? You tune this to be perfect, and you could download a new thing every day, and only deal with the exceptions. And when you find an exception, you add it to the source material in its column. You delete the columns you don't need. You can just completely delete them. This is your own template, right? It doesn't matter. You could use this on, I don't know, I guess you can only use it on Amazon stuff because that's the only time you have equal headers, equal header names. But you could download a new template every day and constantly be updated with it, as long as they don't start, aggressively changing, header names. It's been 3 years, and all this data come through, right? All this data come through. If your source material is tight, you don't have to do any additional labor to copy it over and to have a new template up front. And you have to deal only with the changes, only the things that they have changed, only the new fields. Any field that you had that still exists, you get to keep that with no effort at all. That's what that is. That's what I've been working on. Oh, thanks for the third row tip. That was it. That's what I needed. That got me through.